So do you get what I mean when I say root cause? So that's one example. Of course, there are many more examples when we go deeper into root cause analysis afterwards. Right. Okay, cool. So that answers your question about the different tools and models that I highlighted. Right. Any other questions? Yes. Okay. Right. Yes, because yesterday we do a lot of, or rather I do a lot of assessment as to how you approach it. Right. So from there, you also get to see how you approach it. So it gives you that aha moment. Right. If I straight away give you step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, this is it. That's it. Thank you very much. Bye bye. So right, but then suddenly you find that how come I cannot use or do not know how to use it properly? How different is this from the way I use? So you have no basis of comparison. So without basis of comparison, you will not have your aha moment, right? Because you see, we will not analyze or go think deeper into the situations, right? So there's no critical thinking skills involved in that sense. It just gives you, and then you see, oh, okay, right? But you never experience it. So that's why accelerated learning is about 30% of the notes, right? It's not so much of the notes that I give you, just like I say, so that I can have 100 tools for you, right? But if you haven't experienced a single one, then it's like not as good as never give you notes. Yeah, so the ideal situation is like you're able to experience and have your aha moment. So in order for you to have your aha moment, right, you need to have certain basis for comparison. Right? So I'd like you to experience, right, what's your existing usage or what tools, how do you do it, right, compared to the existing tools I'm going to share with you. Right? So then you have a comparison, then you have that experience. Mesti ada pengalaman, tak ada pengalaman, tak boleh cakap saya sudah cuba, saya sudah rasa, langsung tak rasa. Cuma saya deskripsi saja bagi. Tapi pernah rasa tak pernah. So kalau just like I teach cooking, right? Oh, I say this ingredient, this is how you cook this, right? That's it, right? But you haven't experienced cooking it, and you haven't even experienced tasting it, then you wouldn't know. Right? Without that experience, right, you will not say it's like, I tasted the tools. Yeah, so that's the beauty. You cannot rasa experience it. All right, so the tools is managing expectations, right? And then these are the steps that you get to do. All right, so who would like to start first? Anyone? Okay, so if awesome, give me a hand first.
I don't want to feel pressure later.
Yeah, so some people feel so stressed, right? If you have to wait and wait and wait, even more stress, kind. So the first straight away you deal with it, that is like.
Okay.
Okay, so did you follow the steps? The introduction first,
yes,
before you share.
Good morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Kok.
Yes.
Okay. Actually, I try to introduce myself to my two colleagues. I try to say something like, would you mind that you let me know what is your expectation throughout the year in my working.
So you did this exercise with two of your colleagues.
But it's separately.
Okay, separately. So okay, before that, right, can I check with you? Why are you married? Are you in relationship?
Going to. Hoping lah.
Hoping that you will be on. Okay. So yesterday my request was like, if it's not your spouse, not your boyfriend, girlfriend, then ideally it would be a family member. So is your family members staying with you, or they are far?
Yeah, far.
Okay, so that's why you choose your colleagues.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Actually, I want to know their expectation to my working.
Right. Okay. Yeah, great.
Looking for them. And
then how do you do the exercise? Do you share? Ask them to share 5 points, and you share 5 points.
I didn't share my 5 points.
Right. So you only ask them to share with you their 5 points. Right? Did you ask for 5 points, or you just ask, or did ask them to
they
share?
Asked me how many points. Then I said, you can tell me less than 5.
Okay.
So one of them, her name is Apple.
Okay.
So
if you don't have to name the name, if you don't feel comfortable, if you name, it's fine also.
Okay.
Okay.
So first of all, she say you must add 5
So there's 3 points.
Yes, 3 points that she given to me.
Right. So after she shared that with you, right, then what happened?
She said, now you are going to to be closer to me, like that.
Okay. And that's the end of it?
Yes, I'm saying, okay, I will try to improve my my side. I know actually some of what she said is correct, but because there's some certain things that happen to me, that's why I become like this. So basically, I tell her that I will improve it.
Right. Awesome. So what's missing here is that to do it right, you go through one by one, right, and say what are doable, what are not doable, and why. Yeah.
Okay. So act fast.
So you did say something, but it's not so clear as what you shared earlier. So do you share clearly that okay, this one doable, this one not doable, why? This one not doable, why?
I didn't share to her, but I did think.
Oh, okay, in your own processes.
Yeah, processes.
So you know that okay, something that you're doable, something you're not. So is it all doable?
I think it's all doable.
Okay, all right. So for your understanding, right, you did the sharing of expectations exercise, right? But what you did not do is managing the expectations exercise, right? You're managing inside yourself. You didn't manage it with her. So obviously she do not know, right, what she shared with you, whether it's doable or not, right? Because you're thinking in your head that, oh, doable or not, right? But you did not communicate that. Right? So that's the thing missing. Right? So to be effective is for the other person to know, right, whether what your thought is being communicated. If she's not communicated, then she will never know. So that is not managing expectation exercise. It's just getting expectation exercise. On top of that, you didn't share your expectation of her to her. Okay. Right. Second person. How did we go?
Okay. Second person. Her name is Mel. She said that she expect me that I will talk more during the working, and of course it's talking working stuff.
Not chit chatting, gossiping. Okay.
And then sometimes entertain them more in the office when they are stressful.
Wow, interesting, huh? Part of your job description is to entertain your colleagues, huh? When they are stressful. Okay.
Because they think that my job really helps them to unwind their stress.
Okay, cool.
So
interesting expectation.
they expect me to have 2 E's in my working attitude, which is more effective and efficiency. And she praised me, but there are still more rooms for improvement.
Right. Okay.
Thirdly, try to create new ideas to improve my unit, to perform better, and to make DSA more well known.
Right. Okay. So same thing. You did not communicate what is doable, what is not there. So this is for you to be aware of, right? So that is good. That you take the effort and do the exercise. Right. Give me a hand. So by the way, how do you feel after that process?
Actually, it's a bit I'm shy when I want to approach and then ask them back what is their expectation. But I take the initiative to approach them.
Yeah. So how
But
do you feel after that?
they also feel quite comfortable to tell me this. I think this is quite what they tell is quite honest. So I don't know.
Okay. Right. Great. So my invitation for you is to bring it to a higher level to actually do a managing expectation exercise. Right. Okay. Great. Give me a hand again. Anybody else? Next person. Right. So if not, I volunteer you. So okay. So since he started, we do the anti-clockwise. All right. So after him, then take Abidin. Oh, Tuan Abidin.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. So who do you do the exercise with?
It's my wife.
All right.
Introduction that I made to her is that we have got married for very well each other. Similar play. She is my playmate and also my classmate. We got married classmate.
Wow.
So nothing to hide, nothing to share. Okay, we really.
So sounds like made in heaven, yeah.
Ah.
Wow, you know, you're in the
So-
here, you know, and then in school, yeah.
She, in fact, yesterday we were quite busy for us because we're shifting the house. So she answered, in passing. Sometimes it's not very face to face lah.
Yeah.
I asked her, then she answered, then ask again. Sometimes not clarified clarification. I asked. Okay, the first list that top on the list that she expected from me. Don't lose temper easily. Don't lose my temper easily. That I not able to manage.
Okay, so you communicate after she tell you all the 5 points, then you communicate. But in sharing, you share straight away what you communicated, what can doable, what not.
Yes. One after one another.
Yes. So in this case, the first one, she her expectation of you.
Don't lose my temper easily.
So you share with her that it's not doable.
Not durable.
Yeah. Do you share with her why? Do you share with her why?
Yes, I say that is already inherited to me, embedded to me for many since I was small and I was my upbringing and I was military background. It was compounded by that thing. So,
So like my late father, Air Force, and then like uncle in police force, and then I think that everybody in the forces like to use force, but because they're training, right? Actually, it's not necessarily true. We'll discover more why you're behaving like that. I share with you your behavioral trait afterwards. Yes. So you share with her that that's the reason why it's not doable. Right. Okay. The second point.
The second point is that she expected to have a very happy family throughout our life, so even for our children.
Yes.
So meaning that.
So that statement, right, is a bit what? A bit general, right? Yeah. Because when you say it's happy throughout the life, so what is happiness to you and you and you and you? So different people have different. So of course, because she is not in the class, right? So when she shares, so she may not understand fully what do you mean by have to be specific enough to know. So what is your response to that?
So we're trying to be having a happy family throughout now. Just pray to God that will be our last day. So maybe can go to heaven together.
Alright, awesome. So something you share is doable, and then you will work on it, right? Yes.
Another one, she expected both in good health. So have that. So yes, able to that. So in fact, we have regular medical checkup.
Right.
Go for specialists.
How about exercises?
We do have exercises, walking morning walking, and weekend go to the lake, so that. So that is manageable. It's able to do that. Then took the food, food supplement. Then we control our diet. Very choosy on the food.
So to take all the too oily food and stuff. Right. Okay. Next point.
Another one is she expected no more financial burdens after my retirement. You see? So I think it's I can able to do it. Slowly we clear out our debts, all this out there. Don't
make sure that savings and
savings,
not spend off.
credit card will reduce tremendously.
Okay, so doable.
Doable.
Right.
Another one is maybe quite general. This one to spend more quality time with family and children.
So what is more specific of that is like at least once a year, twice a year. Some people want every month.
Gathering, they come back, have gathering, visit there.
I've heard that a wife requests husband to spend every month must have one holiday. Wow. So it depends on the individual.
Last week the children throw a good dinner for her for birthday ke-58.
Wow. Wonderful.
So
alright.
she expected more like that, happy ending.
So excellent. So she shared her 5 points of expectation of you as a husband for her. So did you share your 5 points of your expectation of her as a wife to you?
Yeah, I do.
So what's your list?
Me a bit. I expected her to keep good health. Okay. is also on a medication, so takes some medication regularly and do medical checkup. Sometimes you know the ladies uh, they are take for granted, right? Say,
Well, not necessarily just ladies, right? People in general, I find.
I've been advised her to do medical checkup. They say blood pressure is okay. So when we check out blood pressure high, and then doctor has to give medication. That's my expectation now.
For her to continuously monitor.
Always, wife always reluctant on this. Okay, reluctant on this. So when I force her, maybe.
So instead of forcing her, support her. Yeah. Force, sometimes people not happy.
Not happy,
so
right?
the more they run away from it. Yeah, support her, so be there for her and go with her.
Another point that I'm a good eater anyway. I would like my wife to cook my favorite food until her death now. I don't like to eat outside so much because I got a certain variety of my favorite foods and my favorite dishes that she cooked very well since just like my mother hand cooking
Okay.
That I hope that I can, that's my expectation
So did she say it's doable or not?
She will try to continue lah kalau dia masih apa nama sihat berdaya.
So great, that's doable. Next point.
Next point is a bit this one, let me reveal this one. I told her I would like to enjoy my reasonable sex life with her for until my death lah. Maybe obscene a bit lah, but I think it's that is natural.
So if you look at the Maslow basic needs, right? So one of the basic needs is what? Food, shelter,
Clothing maybe.
Food, shelter, clothing, right? And sex is a basic needs of a human being. Right? So some people they are not sure about that, so they ignore some of that needs. But that's normal human being. So you communicated that with her, and then
she said, if I'm healthy, I'm okay.
Yeah, so doable.
If not, you will marry another one. No, I just tambah dulu lah. Itu yang tambah.
Obviously, if you love each other, you cannot.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Even though sex life is sometimes it's not really because of old age. I mean, maybe just compliment.
Yes. Just like fitness,
togetherness.
So it's about your physiology. Okay, great.
But fourth point that I would like her to maintain reasonable beauty throughout until his death lah. Reasonable beauty mean according to age lah. You know what I mean?
Reasonable beauty means what?
Dress reasonably, decent dress, all that.
Make sure she pump her hair all the time, or color it.
Reasonable dress.
Does it have to be like baju kebaya tight one?
Not necessarily. What will do?
Because if you're not specific, right, then it would not meet your expectation, right? So sometimes, right, if you say it too general, right, so it's like, suddenly. To her, it's like nicely dressed, but to you, no. So again, that's why I always request you to be specific.
I always compare to some Western women. They are even the age of 60, they are dressed
nicely in the sense that
according to their
style, fashionable, trendy. Okay.
Of course, it's must be complied with a Muslim requirement.
As in opposite of that is not sloppy and just put on anything.
So she said that it's okay. In fact, she is every month she go for what facial treatment all that. I don't know like Mayfair. Every month I have to spend Mayfair. To spend about $200 The last point that request from her, don't always argue with me when unnecessarily. That's
your expectation.
My expectation. Sometimes she likes to argue unnecessarily with me. That will be added to my lost my temper, right?
I see.
Because she also quite educated, so when it comes to not really, she will reveal her opinion, that or your, other
Side of her.
side of her.
So okay, so that is your expectation of her.
Yeah.
So what did she say to that?
I'll try to not to argue so much, but still arguing.
Okay. So remember we were talking about why people get angry because of the expectation. Yeah. Sometimes you get upset over her because of mismatch of expectation. Same goes with her upset over you because of mismatch of expectation.
Yes.
Right. That's one of the root cause of people's anger. Yeah. Really root cause, because if you take away the mismatch of expectation, then the anger would not continue. Right. So that's what I mean by the root cause. Right. The cause of that is the subject, the content that trigger that anger. But if you look deeper and deeper, it's actually the expectations not met. Yeah. Not so much of the subject, because sometimes you talk over a small thing like a glass of water, and then you start to argue. All right. So that is the cause of your argument, the water. But the root cause is not the water. The root cause is that it did not meet your expectation of the way it's being served, or the glass that you like is not being used. Right. So all these things is not communicated. You get triggered, so you get upset. So that is an example of that. That's one. Right. Secondly, is because if we are in the context, right? So I talk about context, right? If we are in the context that, right, I do not recognize that that is your personal opinion, or I cannot accept your personal opinion, that's where I get upset, right? Yeah. So we got to not appreciate. We got to respect that everyone has their personal opinion. You may not agree with it, but then you got to respect that they have their opinion. So if people usually get upset also, right, because they have in the context that I cannot accept people's opinion. That's why people get triggered and angry. Yeah. So look into that aspect of people's personal opinion. So when you see that whatever they say, right, is it right or wrong? Right or wrong? Then you see, right, your emotions, right, is not so high anymore. Right, the emotion, okay, that's their opinion, so I can respect that they have that opinion. I may not agree, right, so I can tell them why I do not agree. So that, right, will have a very good conversation rather than argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, great, right. Thank you for sharing that. Right, yeah. So a lot of, sometimes small things, right, it can be a big problem to a lot of people. Right, okay, next person. Who?
Bachelor.
So bachelor, who do you do the exercise with?
Girlfriend.
Expectation for my parents.
Okay.
But I didn't talk with them yesterday. But this is from my conversation to them for the past few years.
Okay.
So I think I did achieve the managing expectation.
Yeah, until it's communicated, right, you would not be able to achieve the managing part.
Yeah.
Right, so that whatever issues, right, so it's not being handled or dealt with. Right, if there is, I mean, everyone have issue or certain challenges with people in their life. So until it's communicated, right, so it's it's not being dealt with. Yeah, so it will remain there. So what is your thoughts about your expectations of your parents? Or our understanding?
The first one will be they hope that I can do more exercise.
Sorry, so now you're sharing their expectation of you. Okay, so I ask you what is your expectation of them. Never mind, you started that. So share what do you thought is their expectation of you. Because sometimes, right, it's an assumption, Yeah, certain things they say may be direct, so that is no need to assume. But there are things that they say indirectly is an assumption that is their expectation of you. Until they say it directly, you never know. Okay, continue. So first thing that you assume that the expectation of you is that you got to take exercise, and you have that assumption because they tell you in your face that, hey, do more exercise. Okay, all right. Second
one will be my father himself. He helps me to further my study.
Right.
So he hoped that he can, because he's emphasized on the knowledge. Because he just study until secondary school. So he hopes that his children will keep studying
what?
Until the afterlife.
And the end of life means continuously to have become a professional student. So a bit general the statement. Until the end means what? Continuous living, learning, right? You know, it can be academic, it can be non-academic. So here is non-academic, right? So that means you don't need to sit for exam, and yet you can still use it just like academic. Also, you can use in your work or in your life.
Either one.
Yeah.
Either one. Either academic and non-academic.
Alright. Okay. Next one. What's the expectation?
Next one will be my big matters.
Big matters.
Yeah.
Big day.
Yeah, big day.
Very general. Big day to me is to be winning a 1 million ringgit lottery. So what is your big day to you? So everyone have a different definition of big day, right?
In Chinese,
okay. Okay, means get married. So don't have to be shy about it.
And also, they hopefully can get married soon.
Okay.
Yeah. But now I'm still single, so
Okay.
still far away.
So you got to work on it. Right. Next point.
So next one, my father also hope that I can start my own business also.
Okay.
So he thinks it's better to have their own business to let's say.
Yeah. So is that right or wrong to have that context do your own business? Is that right or wrong? Because there are people who go into business just like me previously, right? My ex-business partner, when they use a carrot to tell me, hey, you know, income is unlimited. But they didn't tell me, losses is also unlimited. So there's no right, no wrong. So it depends on whether is that really what you want, and not just your parents' one. So you got to communicate to match their expectation or to manage their expectation. Right, next point.
So the last one is this one more better lah, but also that they hope that I eat less fast food.
Oh, it's less fast food.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to eat fast food.
Okay. Right. So you like to eat very fast also?
But I'm getting eat less lah.
Okay.
Because of the healthy.
Alright. So what is your expectation of your parents then?
My expectation certain I cannot think about because yesterday I thought that it's their expectation.
Oh, okay. So it's actually both sides.
Yeah.
So look into what is your expectation of your parents. You'll be surprised also what is come up. Because the more you know this, it's good that especially those of you dealing with the students affairs. Yeah. Because students have their expectation of their parents and their parents have that on them. If you know that, so you can manage or communicate with them better, one. Number two, if you know their expectation of you as a university to them, then you also can manage that. Yeah. Without understanding or aware what is their expectation of the university or your department, then whenever there's a mismatch of expectations, they'll be screaming and yelling at you. You know what I mean? That's normal human behavior. Alright? Just like bosses also. They have an expectation of you. You didn't meet that, then they'll be screaming and yelling at you. Not all bosses are. Okay. So I'm just giving you an example. Right? So do you see the benefit of this now?
Yeah.
Beginning to see more and more of it. Yeah. So that's why I want you to do this exercise, experience this, so that you get your aha moment when
Can solve the problem.
exactly. Okay. Any more? No, because they didn't look into your expectation. Okay, great. Give me a hand.
Him and he only reverted early in the morning, 6 a.m. So I couldn't reply him as well. But earlier I did introduce to him that I'm currently attending a workshop on managing expectation, and we are asked to ask our family members what are their expectations towards that. So he gave me his 5 expectations. He said first of all is to be filial to parents, and in the sense that I don't go against society rules and country laws, like I don't go into vice, I don't go into drugs, crimes, and I don't tarnish the family's good reputation. Secondly is to have a decently good job, but not necessarily high pay, but a job that I'm happy with and I can contribute to the society.
Yes.
Yeah. So third is to be able to be with parents during their old age. Okay, and 4th is to have good and cordial relationship with the parents. 5 is to use my translation skill because I graduated with a master's in translation and also interpreting studies, but currently I'm not in that field, so they actually hope that I can utilize my skills and join maybe like some translation groups to translate some good books that you know.
So translating which languages?
Chinese into English.
Okay.
Japanese?
No.
Not yet.
Yeah, then he put a note, please revert to me if you need more input or clarification on this. Have a good day.
Okay. So can you sense that how much care your father has for you?
Yes. In fact, he sacrificed a lot for our education. Yeah. So, I mean, all his life he has been working overseas just for my sister and my education. I mean, all this while we are on Pharma scholarship, father-mother scholarship. So we didn't ask for a single cent. I mean, we didn't apply for any JPA scholarship. Even though
What is your father doing?
plantation manager. Yeah. So all this one has been in Africa, Indonesia. Yeah. So imagine like being married with a family, but all this while you have to be overseas.
Alone there or with your mother?
Occasionally my mom will visit him, but of course being him, I know that he still misses. Yeah, so actually, of course I didn't tell you my expectation, but I do hope that you know, if you find yourself too tired, maybe just return to somewhere nearer, or maybe work in Malaysia as a consultant instead of still going overseas, because both my sister and I are already financially independent, so we don't need. Yeah, so he doesn't need to work too hard for us, and yeah, then another expectation is that I hope that he will look after his health, because he's already in his late 50s, so it is very important to start taking care of his health. Yeah. Anyway, I didn't do with my mom because she's on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So you share, he shared his list with you, and did you share your list with him?
Not yet. Yeah.
Not yet.
I didn't get to check.
Right. So what opens up for you to share your list, and then also looks like you did not have a managing each other's expectation by sharing whether it's doable or not. Yeah. So ideally, you do that so that you get to experience the process, right, of understanding or managing that expectation. Okay, great. Give me a hand. Right, listen. You're in luck because why? Now it's a tea break.
Oh, yeah. Let's take a break.
So